Okay, so I had some food, so I'm back in. So the last stream, I changed the name to just Introducing Postcard because all I did was work on tests for an hour. But I feel like it was still useful, and hopefully I demonstrated some stuff. This hour, I'm going to try and just very directly put Postcard and COBS. So as a reminder, Postcard is the library I wrote for no standard serialization. So here's the repo. But basically, it is kind of an alternative for SS Marshall or bin code for using Serde in a no standard environment. And then there's also COBS.rs, which is a library for framing messages. So it makes it so you can turn a stream of bytes into individual packets. So we're going to combine those, and we're going to make a much better serial interface for our Internet of Streams project. And yeah, so I'm going to start in the proof of concept stuff just because I'm going to be hacking on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's move not you, you. And I don't need you anymore probably. So let's cp minus r sensor node into pox. We're going to call this better logging. And then no cargo.toml, and we'll end up cleaning this out, but pix box better logging. And then let's go to better logging, and in our cargo toml, let's call this better logging. Save, and let me, you know what, I'm gonna move. So if anyone was waited on bated breath, but Jonas is Jonas and not Jonas, but doesn't really particularly mind. And Yateki is working on a hierarchical state machine library that I bugged him about, but I do not have time to look at that right now, but I will. So Yateki, best of luck, and I will definitely check that out after Oxidize, or we should meet up at Oxidize on the Impel days, and we should talk about it, because yeah, I'm kind of dead until then. So even my stuff on the stream today is about that. So let us pull in, and I know on my dependencies I should no longer need SS Marshall. You know what, this is actually going to reach outside. Well, we'll see. We'll turn it into, we'll figure it out, because I've got a whole URD logger crate, and I'm probably actually just going to rework that. So oh well, but this way at least I'll have my hacky like sending messages in there. So we're also going to add a dependency on, I went ahead and published after the last stream. I published postcard as 0.2.0. Let's go ahead and build that. CD, not you. CD box better logging, cargo build. Failed to read. No such pox protocol. Right, because you're all going to be up a level. That's obnoxious. The DW1000 crate doesn't use the because in Serde and newer versions they have a thing where you can turn on a feature that allows you to get access to the derive macro. Oh, how am I gonna fix this? Oh. Okay, well. What does the DW1000 crate look like? I don't really need, I guess I kind of need the DW1000 because I had the DWM1000 ARG. This is obnoxious because they both pull in serialize and deserialize. Okay, well, that's a good first road bump. Okay, we're gonna patch the DW1000 credit. I'll submit that as a DW1000 Rust DW1000. What is this? Oh. Okay, let's clone this. Clone. I've got a vendor folder. You know, let's actually. It's a module add. Cargo toml. And like I always say, the first thing you do is you look up the Rust patch syntax, because I never remember what it is, and patch. I am in my, nope, I'm in the wrong. DW1000 is going to use path / vendor / Rust DW1000. Vendor and Rust DW1000 cargo toml. Where are you, Serde? Serde version default features equals false. Features equals derive. And then we can actually get rid of this. And in lid. Okay, cool, that works. I'll submit that as a PR. Well, heck, I'm here. CD Rust DW1000 git diff. Okay, and let's clean up that cargo toml a little bit because that's gonna bug me. Let's see, Serde dependencies ss marshal. I wonder what he's using ss marshal for. Maybe I will maybe I'll submit, or maybe I'll request that he changes over to Postcard. Probably shouldn't chew on ice on the stream. That's probably not a pleasant experience for anyone. And I have permissions to this repo, but use Serde derive feature. Git commit use Serde derive feature instead of external crate. Unfortunately, with this feature and without this feature, not play well together. Okay. Getting messages on my phone. Okay, cool. So, yep, submitting my stuff upstream. I will request review from Hano. I need to call Hano. Hano and I talk decently regularly, and I was too busy this week, so I need to call him. Okay. So that's okay for now. Let's for maximum confusing, this be better logging. Cool. That way my submodule will only live here. What do I need to do now? Now I need to... Actually, what I probably need to do is go mess with my logger crate. Because now I'm vendored. URD logger. What does my URD logger actually look like? Yes. Yes. So, I'm gonna have... Let's see. There's a couple different ways I could do this. I could probably just have a really simple binary data. Probably have really simple binary data or stringy message. To be honest, though, I could probably avoid having... Okay, yeah, I can do that. Logger new and send as bytes. Okay, do I have heapless already in this? I don't have heapless already in this. So let's add dependencies. I'm going to add postcard equals 0.2 and heapless. Sure, thanks autocorrect. I'm going to guess that's what I'm using in other parts of my project. So let's cargo build, because this is going to use my URD logger. Cool. So URD logger, instead of having a scratch U8 easy DMA size, you're going to have a... Let's make this fancy. Let's see, buffs. And instead, this is going to have a vec u8 buffs. So first off, I know I'm going to need use postcard. What do I need? I need to vec, because I'm not deserializing anything. So actually, I think I just need postcard to vec. And I'm going to need use heapless vec, and then const all of them. And then I probably need where buffs is an array length. Thanks autocomplete. An array length of u8, because I need a u8. So yep, and that is certainly not going to build. And you're gonna be a... Yep, that sure doesn't work. Use heapless array length, and scratch is going to be vec new. Oh, right, it's not going to watch. So I'm in a different directory. Impl logger lib up impl buffs. Let's be nice to ourselves in the future and add trailing commas. Okay. What do I even have this scratch stuff for? Oh, right. Internally it uses that. Well, now all of the buff is that, so that's okay. Right, my type arguments is incorrect. That's fine. Oh yeah, I don't need the actual consts here because this is just generic. Send for see, I actually don't want to. I wonder if it's smart enough to get rid of that coffee, because right now I have 2 vac, which will... I might be wasting space here, but that sounds like an optimization for another day. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a new type here. So enum log online, which is going to be the actual like logger. This is going to be pub. Let's see, we might unflatten this at some point, but we can have what, a log. Let's see, and this is gonna be of lifetime A. Actually, I don't think I need to, I guess I probably need to state this. Log, which is gonna be time A stir. There's gonna be a warn, which is a stir, an error, which is a stir, and then can I make this generic over? I could make it contain whatever it wants, but then the user of this is going to have an enum of things that they can send to us. Let's have binary raw of U8, and then I guess I could have, can I have an impl? Can I have something that impl serialize here? Is that going to actually be useful? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that you can have like different data that's here. But I guess because my data isn't a self-describing format, like you do kind of have to have one dictionary, like the problem, what I'm trying to avoid is my deserializer on the other side having to have every single different type that it needs to have, but I don't. Because I could just make it T, but the problem is... The problem is if I have two different applications, I'm going to need two different deserializers. But I guess that's the price that I pay, is that I'm going to have one deserializer for each kind of application, or I'm going to have one whatever that I need to have here. But what does my protocol look like? Because I made a protocol library, but does it actually have anything in it? Demo message. I suppose I could put something in here. This is gonna have to, I'm gonna end up with like weird circular dependencies here. Because if I have a bunch of types that the different crates don't know about, I guess protocol is gonna end up having anything that's sent on a wire. So I'm gonna have a giant enum in there or something, but whatever. Pub enum all messages, cool, of which there is none. Serialize, deserialize, debug, sure. And this, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to reconsider that at some point. Okay, URD logger is gonna want dependencies dot protocol path equals protocol and lib use protocol all messages naming things is hard. Oh, ass. What do I need? I'm gonna need like a protocol message. And then you need to be derive. Serialize, deserialize, debug. Protocol. I'm typing words wrong, aren't I? Derive. Undefined macro serialize. What? What? I probably don't have Serde. Dependencies dot Serde default features equals false features equals derive version equals whatever is in my lock file. Why does this have its own lock file? Is the URD logger not in my workspace? Or did it exist before the cargo toml URD logger? Yeah, okay, that file shouldn't be there anymore. Serde 85. Okay, cool, sure. String derive. Should I just URD logger? Probably because I didn't import it. Use Serde. Cool. So this is actually going to send is now no longer going to take a buff U8. Send is now going to take a log online. online, which is fine. And then I think we still need this. Remove once NRF 52832 HAL reaches 0.8.0. But yeah, that's fine. So I actually suppose it doesn't really need to have I don't need this to actually be a scratch. Like, it doesn't need it persistently, but my two options here is I can either allocate it once and it goes unused a lot of the time, or reallocate it when I'm logging. I guess, yeah. Sure, I guess if you're not going to use it, you're not going to use it. Scratch size is going to be a phantom data. Buffs. So let's go ahead and, because that'll actually keep me from reallocating it multiple times. So let's see. We are going to have a let out equals from or to vac message dot map error this. So that's that, and then that's gonna be out dot deref dot chunks, and I need use core ops deref, and I need this to get from a vec to a U8 slice. I don't need to copy from slice because I've put it there. So I actually just need actually I think this is just C. Woo! Expected log online. You would expect a log online, wouldn't you? Self.send log online log data. Self.send log online born data. Self.send log online data. Excuse me, autocomplete. You definitely had that right. Expected reference. Well, I mean, I guess. Logger buff does not have this field. Scratch, vac, new. I suppose you don't need. Missing script size. Out is going to be a let me take that back because I just removed that, but I actually do need that. So I need that. I want that comma, and out is going to be a vec of U8 of buffs. So whatever you make your buff size. Cool. So let's go ahead and now we can go up into our, where we were in better logging proof of concepts, main. So when I create my logger, I actually need, okay, I have heapless consts here, which is great. So my logger is gonna be u, let's give it 100 or 1024 to work with. Lots of room in our logger. Cool. So now it's gonna put stuff over the wire, but I have no way of listening to what that actually puts out. So I probably need what's going on in, oh, it's just spam. Okay, cool. So now we actually have a binary. That was okay. Good. That was quick. 4 add untracked 1 through 4. Better logging shouldn't have its own cargo.lock. Why do you have your own cargo lock? Delete file. Does sensor node have its own cargo lock? That's probably why. Delete file. And I bet you RTPOC has one too. Yep, go away. Update. Yeah, you don't exist. Commit. Serializes in theory. That was pretty easy to switch over to a binary logger. That was just plain pleasant. And I probably don't need the new lines anymore. I can probably handle that on the other side. But you know what I'm going to need on the other side is I am going to need a desktop client that hooks up to Serial. So let's go ahead and make a hacky one. So actually, we're in CD box. Cargo new bin serial client. And I actually want to exclude it from the workspace because this one I actually don't. The rest of my workspace is stuff for embedded systems. So workspace exclude. Okay, cargo toml exclude. Box. Serial client. Desktop applications. So I need to go to my desktop client, and you are going to need dependencies.serde, version equals 1.0.82, I think is it 8.2 or 8.5 that everyone's using. Serde, cargo toml Serde. Nope, I need 85. Okay. 85. And there's actually a crate that I know that does serial port things fairly well. Let's see, you're also going to use postcard equals 0.2.0. It's going to need, what's like a good Rust serial port library? Rust serial port. Oh yeah, it's just called serial port. What version are you? 3.2. Awesome. Serial port equals 3.2.0. Let's see. So I got Serde. Oh, right. I still need to do my COBS stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the COBS stuff actually before we do this. let's see. Actually, I'm gonna look heapless vec. You can't like insert at arbitrary locations. Okay, well, we'll see. Right now, what I'll probably end up doing is, I don't know, I've got RAM to burn, at least for a proof of concept and for a demo. So what else do I need? I need COBS. COBS.rs. What version is that? Nope. 1.4. Okay. Is the standard feature default? Default use standard. Okay. Dependencies.cobs version equals 0.1.4. Default features is false. So actually, I need to also do the COBS stuff. I'm gonna end up having to copy all this, which is kind of annoying. Encode in place is not going to be a thing. Encodes the source buffer into the destination buffer. COBS encoder. So let's see, how did I do this streaming one? You wrote it to an output buffer. Is there like a deref? I think, oh, it helps if I was looking at this on the screen that I'm actually streaming with and not just using another monitor. So this is my COBS encoder, but heapless deref mute mutably dereferences the value. But that won't help me, so it only gets the current size of it. Yeah, I might actually want a different COBS encoder that just spits out bytes or something. What is the regular encoder? But that is the whole thing. And I don't give myself any way to see how many bytes it's actually done. That's obnoxious. Why would I do that? So what I'm trying to figure out now is I need to encode this. And encoding it will take slightly more size than the unencoded format is. But I don't have a super... I don't have a super great way of doing this. I may end up rewriting the COBS stuff now that I actually know what I need. Like I need essentially like... It'd be great to either have something that like gave me back 1 or 2 bytes at a time. See, decode in place is actually probably what I want. On the other way, for receiving, I will do decode in place, but... So heapless, resize. Whatever, we're gonna do it the dumb way. I wonder if... Yeah, serialization stuff. Okay, let's do it dumb. Let's make it work, and then we'll make it better later. If we ever need to make it better later. Okay, so logger... What I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a capacity... I can't even get... There's no, like, unsafe set size. Whatever. COBS is gonna be a... This is just a dumb way of doing this. Evacuate offices. And this is actually gonna fail occasionally. Whatever. Don't use the full capacity. Give yourself bonus capacity. But I need to think about this. Vec U8 buffs, and actually it needs to be a buff. Oh god, this is gonna be such not the best performance. But I can't dynamically make U sizes of different sizes unless I can T unsize. You don't have a nope. Array length. Array length doesn't have like there's no good answers here. Okay, let but encoded equals vec u8 buffs. I've tried to be too fancy. Equals vec new encoded dot 2 smart by half. Does Heapless have like a vec deck sort of kind of thing? No, because that would be hard, because you essentially need that to be a linked list or something. Okay, sure, whatever. Need what? Set size. Resize. Dot resize. Resize takes new len u size. Where's my COBS? COBS. Max encoding length. COBS. Max encoding length. Out dot len. I'll make that 0 dot map. Sure. So now we've got a length for that, and then we can do our COBS. Well, it really doesn't need to be streaming, it just needs to be encode, doesn't it? Encode the source buffer into the destination buffer. Actually, I don't even need my streaming thing. Gosh darn it. COBS. I guess the deserialize. I actually need it on the less powerful device, or the more powerful device. Use COBS. Max encoding length. Encode. It'll be more useful when I'm doing packety stuff later, and actually not even the packety stuff. It's just the streaming. It'll be useful when I'm setting bytes to my embedded system. At least, gosh darn, I hope so. So then I need to do let sys equals encode out dot deref encoded dot deref mute And then I need the deref mute trait. So now it's actually expected and then encoded dot resize. Yeah, it's just gonna be resize default, but truncate. Nope, that's fine. Truncate this is cool. And then actually I don't need to and actually I'm going to invert this a little bit. And then let's, keep our stack sizes what this does is, okay, we can drop out now, because it's just will free up some stack sizes for when we're doing other things. Be polite to the stack. Yeah. There's probably something tricky I could do. Like, really, let's not be clever. Let's get it working. Okay, now I need my serial client. Okay, it's gonna have Serde, it's gonna have Postcard, it's gonna have serial port, it's gonna need COBS. I guess Serde is allowed to have, well, I want the features. Is derive a default feature now? I don't remember. Whatever. COBS is going to be 0. This is a desktop, so I don't really care. So because you're actually going to get your own version of everything, but hey, I told you to exclude. Why are you not excluding? x86 64 unknown. I can't remember what the. Sorry to anyone who's trying to build this outside of Linux. Let's go look at that serial port. I bet you if you, let's go to the repository, and I bet you they're going to have an awesome example of clear input buffer Receive data. Hey, look, this is exactly what I want. It's even got clap and everything. That's lovely. I'm not going to use that yet, but I am going to use that later. Lock. What does lock do? Is lock... It's like... I've used really old version control systems that had lock, which is interesting, but... whatever. Ooh, hey. I might still need the no standard flavor of Serde. Huh. I might need to be careful about that. Okay, well... Okay, serial client. Okay. In main, let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of these, and let's get rid of clap, as wonderful as clap is. And I'm going to do these manually. Baud rate.parse. Cool. You're gonna be 115. Yep, I will come back and duration from millis, port name, /dev/tty acm 0. Let's hope that's what it actually wants. Cannot find port name. So let's just stood out. Cool. Yeah, this is gonna just print some garbage, but that's cool. I should actually plug a board in. I don't even know what my logger thing is doing. What is my better logger doing? I'm gonna get all kinds of weird. What are you even doing? Better logging. Main. Sure, it's sending some stuff. I don't even need... That's fine. It's gonna send every... It's gonna send every now and then. Sure. Default handler. Okay. What are you complaining about? Better logger. Incomplete sequence. Let's just mon reset. Let's see if you back in SigTrap? No. Oh, no, you probably are. Did you send data? Oh, I need a simpler example that just sends data. Let's just let's see, that's a log, and I need delay. A time. You're gonna delay like a second. Sure. Timer 1,000,000. Yeah, I mean, you're not real numbers, are you? And 20, 30. And val.text bytes. Does it have the meme thing in here? Panic at spy, right? Ah, there we go. This MK is probably my length, just encoded as something. And then I got 10, 20, 30. Okay, cool. So that's definitely getting data. So now in my So now in my serial client, I also actually want dot. What do I guess my URD logger is log online. This stuff should probably move to protocol, but for right now, we'll pull log online. That's fine. So the protocol is gonna have all messages. I need to reorganize, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Protocol path path equals dot slash protocol dependencies dot URD logger path equals dot slash URD logger. That's fine. Oh, you're not the right window. Huh. Yeah, okay, let's move that stuff now, because I really should not be pulling in URD logger. That, use protocol log online. Protocol, you now live here. And my serial client no longer needs URD logger because it really shouldn't be depending on embedded stuff anyway. Why are you pulling in save build cargo tree? Why are you pulling in NRF52 how? Is my protocol pulling in NRF52 how? Why are you pulling in NRF52 how? That's just unacceptable. I probably in some stream said, hey, this is fine, this won't be a thing. And then it very much is a thing. Okay, that's fine. Cargo build. Okay, good, you're still fine. Okay, so you know how to do that now, so you should be able to deserialize. So next I need to COBS, and then what I actually probably want is a vec deck of things. Serial client. What do I want? I probably want what my COBS streaming decoder looks like. Let's see. What I need is a structure that I can take like a big chunk off of. No, I don't. I just need a buffer. Is this just in a big loop? Loop. Okay. Let mutt message buff equals 0u8 I don't know if this is. Ugh. Okay. So I need, I don't know, 409. Well, I know it's 1024. This is gonna be weird with the lifetimes and the stuff. Because there's no just like consume self method where I can. This stream is just me looking at libraries I wrote weeks and months ago and am unhappy with. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and run to the restroom and come back and figure out what I'm going to do with this. So the problem that I'm running into, actually, is that this COBS decoder takes a destination mute U8, which is fine because I'm going to decode to a buffer. But once I am done with it, I suppose I could just do a decode in place. Yeah, my streaming stuff is killing me. Yeah, I guess none of this is useful. Okay, well, actually, let's do this real quick. Decodes message in place. Where that is my U size. So I've got to read. Let's see, what is... Oh, and for probably... Okay, yeah, okay. I need a break. I need to not stare at the screen for a second. I'll come back with a fresh mind. Okay, so I will be back in a bit. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so I was trying to think about using something like Effect Deck, but the way the streaming iterator works isn't gonna like that. And so let's just go look at VEC because there's probably something like um stood VEC. Is there like split? Probably something like split. Yeah, I'm gonna make something hacky that works. To T. Where's T? T is how many. I'm gonna probably run into lifetime problems again. Let mut buff equals 0u81024. So read from buff. Let mut. What are you called? You are COBS. Use COBS. But I want the COBS decoder. COBS decoder. Mut COBS buff equals 0u81024. Let mut COBS deck equals COBS decoder new with a make you an and mut u8 is new with COBS buff and yeah, that's okay. Let's see, when things happen, we need to for by in buff t match. Sure, let's do one at a time. Actually, match COBS deck dot push buff dot t let pause equals 0. Pause. Let's say while pause does not equal t. Push. So we're gonna push data into it. If we get back an okay, some, what is it, n comma m, then we know that we now have I can't do this because I'm going to be returning values of the stack, and that is the opposite of what is good. So COBS is actually going to be a vec new, and it is a vec of u8 dot as mut slice That's fine. Let's see. N, which means we have a byte of n, so something like decode COBS buff dot n, and then m is, so then pause equals m, and then COBS buff is now going to get a new vec 01024, and then COBS deck, this probably isn't going to work. COBS decoder new COBS buff dot as mut slice. You are going to be unhappy. Actually, you're gonna have a okay none. Oop. Okay, none is gonna be a break. inner loop break inner. That actually does work. Interesting. Thanks, heap data structures. You make life way easier than with stackful data structures. So actually, the only thing I don't cover is air e, and I'm just gonna e print line, or just let's just panic e. That's fine. Let's see, do I have postcard? Use postcard from bytes, and then I need use protocol line, log on line. Okay, so then I need to let message equal log on line equals from bytes COBS buff .n .unwrap print line. I don't need this anymore. Is that actually? Huh. Run release. And I bet you're panicked. No. All right, let's add some. Let's add some. Oh, I think the COBS decoder also needs. I don't think it puts the zeros in there. I think I need to push the zeros in there, actually, now that I think about it. UART logger truncate encoded dot push 0. Box any 57. What? Okay, let's halt you for a second and let's screen. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we got messages. No, don't detach. Control A, quit. I just need to drain the buffer. Huh. So I'm getting log messages. I don't know why I was panicking. Perhaps you know what? Let's make this a little more robust. ePrint line. Something went wrong. Let's just do the because this should be from pause, not n. Oh, no, that's a lie. This should be. I just realized at some point I'm going to need to be able to implement UART going back the other way. Do I have that implemented the other way? NRF52, how? Well, I have working Thinger, which is great. UART, do I have the capability to read from it, or do I just have the capability to write to it? Read. Okay, cool. It's blocking, and it's kind of read timeout. Oh, cool. We even have a read timeout. I wonder if that's just in. Nope. Nope. UART. Pins UART. Read timeout. Oh no, there's a. Cool. Most 255 bytes. Okay, I can live with that. I'm totally fine with that. Let's see. Let's make this a little more robust too. I mean, no, I've got super rightward drift right now, but if let okay message equals from byte else ePrint line failed to decode message. So that's a little bit more robust now. Let's I don't know how I can de-drift that, but that's a pretty ugly thing going on. But it's gonna have to do for now. That's a working message. I'm pretty pumped about that. So if I stop that and I run, let's get rid of right. What do you mean from bytes is IO? Well, my brain's not very clear right now, so I don't know how I would clean that up. But, you know, I've got a working decoder. I should probably come up with, you know, let me just, let's do a, simple, well, let's just do a fun display for a given log online message. Match message log online log. Let's see, I should have a fun prefixed lines. I'm just gonna take a stir and return a string. Let's see, let's do some fancy Rust stir. There's probably something like lines. Lines method on stir. Let mut out string equals string new. For line in s.lines out plus equals Rust time now. Actually, you know what? Let's give back a feck of string because, you know, maximum ridiculousness. So this is just gonna actually just be s.lines message is also going to be a stir, and it's still going to be a string actually. Yeah, let out string st dot time now. Do you impl display or something? You do impl debug, but that's not going to be what I want. Dot for each out dot push stood time system time. What is it now? Fun time. Time now. Push format. Format. I'm making like the worst logger ever. Message and then line. Probably need a new line or something. Expect to type char. Log. Let's see what this does. Print prefix lines. Because that's going to be a stir. I'm surprised you actually work. That's right. Zero allocation. Display message. Probably ampersand message. Huh. System time. Yeah, sure. Rust get timestamp. Since the epoch. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna pull in the whole chrono crate, aren't I? I am gonna pull in the whole chrono crate. Chrono. use chrono prelude star because this is ugly hacky code. So instead, I'm gonna do UTC. No, I'm gonna do local dot now. Let's see what you give me. Failed to resolve. Do I not save on my cargo tunnel? Save. Save. Those lines not give me 4 lines. You are way too precise. I would like... How can I set my formatter for you? Chrono. Formatter. Can I just get the time? I just want the time. Because this is going to be a date time. Date time type. Great. Give me the time. Naive time. Now. Dot time. Not yet implemented. Awesome. Wait, what? What? How is that? How is that hitting? How is that hitting postcards? I don't want to run release. I just want you to run. That was weird. Well, that's a little better. Okay, I think that's enough for today. So now I have my tiny little printer thingy, and yeah, well, let's go ahead and git add -I, update a bunch of stuff, add my commit. No, am I on better logging? Yes. Working serial desktop client using postcard. Git push origin better logging. Okay. I feel like I was a little quiet today, but hopefully I got lots of stuff. Well, I did get lots of stuff done, so hopefully it was enjoyable watching me get stuff done. And thanks very much for watching. I will see you next time.